I just read the opening line that I wrote for this video. Magic is making fake versions of Spider-Man cards because they can't legally put Spider-Man into Arena. And it made me laugh before I even saw it. That is real. That is a real thing that now we have to talk about. Instead of being able to put Spider-Man and I guess all of the Marvel cards onto Arena, they're going to be making mechanically identical cards with different names and different art. It's as weird as it seems. Joel, our Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Have stores compete for your purchase. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect your cards. And Moxfield, the best way to put your deck lists on the internet. Wizards announced Through the Omenpaths, which is in-universe versions of Universes Beyond cards that can't appear digitally due to licensing issues. So we are going to get more in-universe Magic cards specifically on Arena than we previously thought we were going to. I think that there's a lot of people probably celebrating this in some weird way because now Spider-Man and I guess all of Marvel is not going to be on Arena. And so we're going to have these Magic Universe versions that are identical mechanically, but they're only available as of right now digitally. So Wizards announces Through the Omenpaths, and they announced that the first set that's going to get this treatment is going to be Marvel's Spider-Man. We're going to get Final Fantasy, which is next on Arena, but we're not going to get Spider-Man. And the inference is we're not going to get any Marvel ever on Arena at this point, and that's pretty crazy. There's a lot of implications there. I guess you could look at one of the pros of this being that the game is going to be mechanically identical from paper to digital, but it would be that way if you didn't have this problem already. So I see people listing that as a pro, but it's like, you know, they can just make the same cards. It could just be the same cards. It would be the same thing. Lots of people are speculating that this is a licensing issue, and that's got the most truthiness to it for me. That feels the most correct. A lot of people tweeting that Marvel or Disney blocked this being on Arena, blocked digital versions of the Marvel Magic cards because it would be a direct competitor to Marvel Snap. I don't see how that works. I mean, if I was a high-level executive sitting in a room, I guess I could see, oh, well, if they're going to choose to play a Marvel card game, we wanted them to choose the Marvel card game that is, we've already spent all the money behind, or whatever. I don't really see that as an argument. I would assume that because they are two very different games, that you're not going to have that confusion. So that is kind of a frustrating reasoning line to think down because they're two completely different things. I can understand looking from the outside, not knowing anything about this, that Marvel Snap and Magic the Gathering could look really similar, but them competing, I don't get it. And not just Marvel Snap, there's Lorcana too. Eventually, I guess Marvel will be in Lorcana, and we didn't think that we were ever going to get Marvel in Magic because Marvel Snap and Lorcana exist, and we assume that at some point Lorcana will also roll in Marvel and get a set going with that. And so having that sort of reasoning, maybe Snap and Magic don't want to compete, even though, you know, most people that I see playing it are playing both anyway. Mainly for me, I feel like this is just insanely confusing. I don't understand how they think this is going to make onboarding new players simpler. They seem to not really be sure of, do we want to onboard players mainly through paper or mainly through Arena, and then convert them to the other via whatever channels we can. They've got the new player experience on Arena. It's a great way to learn, in my opinion. It's what I suggest if anybody's I want to try the game out and see what it's like. Go play through the new player experience and the color challenges on Arena. It's great. A lot of times LGS, you need a friend, you need somebody who's kind of trusted to teach you the game in that way. But can you imagine a new player coming into this? Oh man, I'm so excited about Spider-Man, and them just not being on Arena? It feels like a huge miss. It feels like a huge miss not to have that new player experience be repeatable on the client with the actual IP. We'll still be able to draft the set. The set's still going to be in standard, which is another thing. It's like, that is why this is so necessary. They can't not have it mechanically identical to its paper format with this new overlaid or unoverlaid. That's another part of the complications of this. Which is the real card? I'm assuming we're going to refer to the paper card in the Spider-Man set as the real card. But if I've got, you know, Spider-Man's web blasters and I've got rope guys, rope throwers, are people are going to be like, oh, is that rope guys, rope throwers? That's the real one, you know? I mean, people are going to want these in paper as well. The purists that don't like Universes Beyond, there's some, you know, positive that they're getting out of this because it's going to pressure WotC to print them. And if they don't, they're just going to get proxied. They're just going to get proxied anyway. That's what's going to happen now is the proxy websites seem really excited today, I would assume, since they're not going to be selling them in paper, at least for now, they're going to need to proxy them. And so, you know, maybe like a Mystery Booster 3, that's where we'll get to see the universes within Omenpath. What are we calling it? Through the Omenpaths. Mystery Booster 3 through the Omenpaths slot. 3 slots in the booster. You can find cards that were printed for the first time in the Spider-Man set, but made available digitally only through the Omenpaths set. This is weird. This is a strange one. Along with set releases on Arena, you get things like the Battle Pass, like profile pictures, like sleeves and stuff. And this is going to be the smallest, most first world complaint of the entire video. But I like cosmetics. I'm a cosmetic lover. I do be getting cosmetics over here. You can accuse me of that. I promise. We're not going to get any of that, I'm assuming. I'm assuming if they can't use it on the cards, they can't use it on their sleeves. Or maybe Marvel's like, well, that's not confusing. Now, you can have a profile picture of Venom, but the second you play Venom online, our players are confused and we want them playing Snap. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm really interested to see too how the lore is going to go for this set. Is this going to be the kind of thing where they use an entirely new plane that's an analog for New York? Tall building plane with rope guy who can sling ropes and zip around. Is it going to be a mashup, kind of like March of the Machine, where they just use every plane and every available known character to create a Spider-Man analog? This is so strange to me. Are they going to use an exact, like, are they just going to be like, here's Innistrad, but it's Innistrad's tallest buildings city, and this is Rope Guy. Enjoy. Green Glider Man coming in hot with orange throwable spheres. Be careful. You know who it is, but not really. And I'll tell you this, good luck looking up any sort of deck coverage for standard, modern, any of the constructed formats. Every deck list is going to be, Spider-Man Hero of New York / Rope Guy, Tall Building Swinger Dude, deck tech. Be ready for your next RCQ. I just don't. The confusion is just going to run really deep with this one. And I can understand why this is probably the lesser of two evils for them, because it has to be if they're going to make every standard, half the standard sets. Let's not exaggerate. Standard is somewhere between 7 years long and until the heat death of the sun. And so I don't want to exaggerate and blow this out of proportion. I guess at least modern isn't going to be on Arena, so it'll really mostly affect like limited discussions and standard discussions. Everybody's going to have to call their decks 2 different things. The weird takeaway is the thought that digital Magic and paper Magic, when it comes to specific formats, standard, limited, of this set, it's never going to be 1-to-1 anymore. And is that a problem? Is that okay? It feels very confusing. I'm not really a fan of it, especially knowing that they have pushed Universes Beyond to be half of standard sets, and you have to like make allowances for it not to be in line with Magic Arena. Like, what's going to happen with your Commander client? You've said that's like 2-3 years off. We don't know, number one, is Commander going to go on Arena, or is it going to be, you know, Magic Commander, the experience as one standalone game? What's going to happen with that? I'm assuming we can't get the Spider-Man cards in that then. I don't know. With Brawl, with Commander, with those being digital only, doesn't this kind of hamper the long-term success of your digital platform if you're so excited for this IP crossover IRL to really kick the game into the next level? After the enormous price increases that we became aware of earlier in the year, this is the second major moment of tension between Magic the Gathering being a Magic the Gathering game and Magic the Gathering being a brand IP management platform that showcases other IPs as a way of selling their game. Is this going to affect it long term? This is kind of a strange one. Going into all of these Marvel sets, knowing that they're not going to be available digitally, I feel like that really, really hamstrings the entire push toward this and makes you question doing it at all. Is this a big enough issue for you to care? Or are you just like, whatever, they got to do what they got to do. I only play paper or I only play arena. I want universes within stuff only anyway, so happy day for me. Let me know down in the comments what you think about all this, and if you like the video or you like any of the other videos I got on the channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps tremendously. Catch you in the next one.